This is Heal, and I want to talk about the different ways that you can wire a punch card reader. As you can see right here, I got a punch card in front of me. It's a 4x4, and the way I have it wired up right now gives me 9 lines of code. A line being, you know, that's one line, that green thing is one line. Yeah. You can see one way I have this thing wired up is those pistons at the top fire first, then those ones fire, and then those ones fire, and then that one up there fires. Goes in a kind of goes in a clockwise motion there. It's not going very fast right now, and that's just the way I have it set up. But yeah, 4x4 gives you 9 lines. But if you wanted, let's say you needed for your project a punch card reader with 10 lines, well, a 4x4 would be perfect. Right here I have in front of me a 4x4 with 10 lines. You can see that corner and that corner are filled up, while that one and that one are empty. The way I have this thing wired is the top right, those pistons right there fire at the same time as those, and then those pistons fire at the same time as those. This is actually the fastest way to wire the punch card reader. It can move the quickest, and I'll show you that a little bit later. Now, if you needed 11 lines of code, now you have two options right there. You could jump up to a 5x4. That's just moving this up one block. So you have to add one on each side, which you add 2 lines to it. You'd have to use that one over there, though. Or you can still use a 4x4, which is right here. Right? 4x4. You have 3 of the 4 corners filled up with crap, and yeah, still a 4x4. Now this one, the pistons fire in a reverse order as the first one. Kind of moves in a counterclockwise. Right there. First those fire, then those fire, then those, and then those. The punch card itself is still moving in the same direction, clockwise, but now you can fit 11 lines. Now, I've done a little bit of testing, and this can be this can move at the same speed as the first one. It's not any slower or faster, whereas that one down there is faster than both of these. I'll show you why in just a minute. Now, like I said, you have 2 options if you wanted 11 lines. You can go to a 5x4 or a 4x4 here. I'll show you a 5x4 with 11 lines. Here is a 5x4, and it has 11 lines on it. The pistons fire in the same way as this first one right here, except that it's 1 block higher. See? Yay! Now you can do this with these 4x4s here. I showed you that you can actually have a difference of well, you can have 9 lines, 10 lines, or 11 lines. Well, the same idea with a 5x4 is true. You can have 11 lines here. You can have 12 lines here. It's the same exact idea. And you can have 13 lines here. See? Yay. Now, I suspect that this would work with any size punch card, all the way up to a 12x12. Although I'm not entirely sure, I haven't tried it. I don't know why it wouldn't work. Now, back to the speed. Now, like I said, that and that one, which is a say 11 lines and a 9 lines, they could move at the same speed. I have them set up right now to move slow so you can see them, but I'll go ahead and change this one to move as fast as it can go. And yeah, there we go. And that's about as fast as that can go. It's alright. It'll be alright for most projects, but if you really need speed, you can still make it go fast. You can still have something go faster, and that is using this method right here. Like I said, the corner pistons fire at the same time as its opposite. Now, I'm actually using the same type of clock here, but I built another one to demonstrate that speed. And here it is right here. This one I've set up to move as fast as I possibly can get it. I believe it's moving a block once every, I think once every 10th of a second. Yeah. It's moving quite fast, as you can clearly see. And this is why. That one right there. I don't know what you call this, a clock, a timing circuit, or whatever. I was originally going to use this one right here, which, you know, you just put that there and then pushes it back and forth. But then I thought about it for a second and I realized it can be faster. So I built this, which is in fact faster. You want proof? Prove it. I will definitely prove it. Right here, as you can see, I have an array of diodes, repeaters, whatever you want to call them. I set these up so then you can see the space in between the pulses coming out from these 3 different timing circuits right here, 3 different clocks. Here is the standard 4. Yeah, has 4 outputs. I suppose you could call it 4-stage. Here's a 2-stage. Here's a 1-stage. Now, in the interest of making this fair, because the 2-stage and the 1-stage, I have, you know, about, I suppose you say half of the inputs, 1 input, 1 out of 2, connected to that. So I did the same here. Half of the outputs from this will go into that, which means because it has 4 outputs, 2 of them are going into that. And as you can clearly see, they're both being delayed by 1 before it goes in there, just to make it fair. Let me go ahead and start this up for you. There's one, another one, and we go. As you can see, it's making pulses all the way down here. There we go. I think I was actually moving at the same speed as them. Let's try this and go. There we go. Okay. Now, as you can see, the output from the 4-stage is the same as the output from the 2-stage. They're both set up to move at the same time. Now it's the same, like I said, because 2 of the outputs of that are being routed through here while only 1 output here. I think it's scientific because it's only fair. 50% of the output from that, 50% of the output from that, 50% of the output from that. So it's all the same. But while this one right here, as you can see, the spaces in between the pulses are a little bit shorter. Looks like 1/10 of a second shorter. 1/10 of a second closer. As these are being delayed by, each one of these adds a delay of 1/10 of a second. There we go. You see. Using this, I determined that that is in fact faster than that. Now you may be wondering why I still have 2 of them here. I need to. Unfortunately, the way the game works is you can move. This is a sticky piston, and that's a normal piston. You can move the sticky piston too fast, and it won't pull the block back. I'll show you. Right. See? It just didn't pull the block back. So I have this piston here to help to help it along. Whoops. Come on. Fucking damn it. Super pick my ass. Okay. There we go. I'll try to get a screenshot of this right here so you can, yeah, view it. Just stopping these for a minute. There we go. Okay. So, those are just the things I want to show you. That you know, just because you have a certain sized punch card doesn't mean you're stuck to one number of lines, to a set number of lines. You actually have, you know, 3 different options there. There's a 4x4, and I have 11 lines, 10, 9 lines, and it's still just a 4x4, and all I changed was the timing of the pistons. That's it. If your project actually needs speed over, you know, size, well, if your project needs speed, then you're really only stuck with this method here, where you have the 2 corners pushing at the same time, and then the next 2 corners pushing at the same time. Because that's really, you know, the fastest way. It's really only it's the fastest way you can do it. Show you one more thing. See, really fast. Now, if you need something faster than this, really, I believe that this is the fastest that you can make a punch card go. Any size punch card, you can make a 12x12 go this fast. I did for my music machine, which is a 12x12 punch card connected to 50 music blocks. And it's moving this fast. Unfortunately, that wasn't fast enough for what I needed, but with editing, I got past that. If your project needs something faster than that, honestly, I think that you'd have to go with redstone circuitry. But you can still get pulses that go faster. Like this one right here, each pulse is 2 things away, which means there's still room for improvement. Alright, well, hope you enjoyed this video. If you didn't, well, too bad. You watched it. You can't unwatch it.